You're watching CW Montana. This is the MTN 9 o'clock news.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday. I'm Andrea Lutz. Ahead tonight, more stunning sex abuse allegations now coming to light against former Miles City school trainer James Jensen. Plus, we have an update on an investigation into the death of an 18-year-old Blackfeet woman, Brittney Bloom, as the FBI continues to investigate her death. But first, flu season is hitting Montana, and it's hitting it hard. It's leaving some hospitals across the state scrambling to help. Cold and flu season continues to place Montana's hospitals and clinics in a crunch. Montana has recorded over 1,000 new flu cases. While Bozeman Deaconess and Kalispell Regional Medical Center are seeing higher than average patient turnout, St. Peter's Health in Helena has opened its seasonal cold and flu clinic. However, Billings Clinic and surrounding medical centers are at capacity. MTN's Sammy Solidovan, she joins us with information on where to go if you do get sick.
At the Billings Clinic, patients were being moved into conference rooms and evaluated in the hallways because the ER just did not have enough space. Billings Clinic made the announcement this morning saying they reached the highest level, black, on its capacity scale. They say it's a similar situation at other hospitals around the state. The influx in patients began about 3 weeks ago and is due in part to a spike in flu cases in Yellowstone County and around the state. Hospital staff now encouraging anyone with the flu or other minor injuries or illnesses to call the nurse helpline or visit a walk-in clinic or express care clinic before rushing to the ER.
This is not a crisis situation at all. We're certainly managing our patients. I believe our patients are getting outstanding, safe patient care, but this is a situation where this is impacting our flows, that we do need people to understand the wait times are going to be longer.
Now they assure anyone who does enter the ER will receive quality care. It's just that the influx of people means those wait times could be longer.
All right, thanks, Sammy. We did reach out to Great Falls Clinic. They say it's cold and flu season, so nothing too much out of the ordinary. So new information tonight in a federal case that named a former Miles City athletic trainer in the sexual abuse of possibly hundreds of boys. New documents say 78-year-old Jim Jensen was catfishing boys on the internet, and his alleged abuse crossed state lines. Jensen's daughter told prosecutors that he had high school-aged boyfriends all over the country. Two victims are described in the abuse as having it out of state at a wrestling tournament once in North Dakota and at an athletic trip to California. Jensen will be back in court tomorrow morning. And on that, there's another bill now in play at the Montana legislature to further address the statute of limitation laws for sex abuse victims. There's another bill that's being introduced. House Bill 202 would end time limits for when a child sex abuse victim can file suit, but that bill ran into opposition. Now the committee chair says there's a new bill to expand the time limit on civil suits but not eliminate them. It would also improve reporting requirements preventing serial abusers. Lawmakers say this new approach might be a solution for all.
I think this just kind of gets it to one place. Everyone's on the same page and we're moving one bill together.
We need to get the predators off the streets and away from the children. If they're not taken off the street, then these cases are going to keep going. So to protect children, we need to get these cases reported when they unfortunately happen, and we need to get the predator off the street.
Details on this new bill are still being discussed. Two former Anaconda High School basketball players are facing felony rape charges in connection with an incident that happened 2 years ago in Hamilton. Ravalli County court documents say Matthew Stephen Ryan and Kynan Kellinger, both 19 years old, face charges of sexual intercourse without consent. Documents say the two men had sexual contact with a 14-year-old girl after a basketball tournament in Hamilton back in February of 2017. The two are expected to appear in Ravalli County Court later this month. The former Billings Skyview football player accused of raping 4 girls will be tried as an adult. Last summer, 17-year-old Braden Pond was charged with 5 counts of sexual assault without consent. The allegations stem from 2016 to May of 2017, where the incidents occurred at a Walmart parking lot, one at a house party, and another, 2 in Pond's truck. Today, Pond agreed to waive his rights to a transfer hearing and determine whether his case could move to a juvenile court. The court ordered a jury trial for January of 2020. Tonight, new details in the case of an 18-year-old Blackfeet woman who was found covered in bruises and dead in her car. Now the FBI says the death is accidental. Investigators say based on evidence gathered and processed, they determined there was no violation of federal law. An autopsy performed by the Montana Department of Justice Forensic Science Division determined that Brittney Bloom's cause of death was acute ethanol intoxication. That's also known as alcohol poisoning. Bloom was found dead in Browning on January 12th. In the Flathead, a 5-year-old boy has died after he was struck and killed by a car that was driven by his grandfather when he was backing the car out of the driveway. Flathead County Sheriff Brian Haino says deputies responded to the report of a child struck by a vehicle in Kyla. Haino says the child was believed to have been playing behind the vehicle before he was hit. CPR was performed, and then he was taken to Kalispell Regional Medical Center, where he later died. His name has not yet been released. For 2 hours, a state Senate panel heard, then passed a bill that could keep Montana's largest coal-fire-powered plants, operating in Colstrip. Northwestern Energy could buy the plants for just $1. MTN's Mike Dennison, he has the story.
Under Senate Bill 278, Northwestern could buy part or all of Colstrip Plants 3 and 4 and an associated power line from its other owners, primarily other utilities in Washington and Oregon. These utilities have said they'd like to get out of coal, and Northwestern would buy the plants for $1.
This bill creates the opportunity for Northwestern to explore options with the other owners, or some of them, to acquire a larger interest at no cost to our customers and increase our ability to provide reliable and affordable electricity on a 24/7 basis.
Supporters of the bill, including organized labor, said it's a chance to save these plants from premature closure and the jobs and tax benefits that come with them.
I would say it's a give Colstrip a chance bill.
But the bill also says any other costs associated with Northwestern's ownership, operation, maintenance, additional investment, cleanup, must be covered by Northwestern's customers, the ratepayers. Opponents said it amounts to a blank check for Northwestern with no oversight by the Public Service Commission.
But I would not be surprised if Senate Bill 278, if passed, were the largest blank check given to a utility by its customer in the history of Montana regulation and probably the entirety of the United States.
But Republicans on the Senate Energy Committee, including Colstrip Senator Dwayne Ankney, quickly approved the bill Thursday, sending it to the Senate floor.
And of course I've got, I'm in this thing. I'm there. I live there. I mean, these guys that work there are my best friends. But that aside, you're still getting something for nothing.
Democrats on the panel said if acquiring Colstrip is good for Montana and ratepayers, why does the bill cut out the regulators?
Why do we have to have an end around the Public Service Commission? Why can't we go through the normal Public Service Commission process? They'd have to be crazy to turn it down, wouldn't they?
No one really answered that question. But now the bill is heading here to the Senate floor, where no doubt we'll hear another spirited debate. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
And the Senate floor debate will occur within the next few days. Montana's Chief Deputy Attorney General is entering the race to become the next Attorney General. John Benyon announced today that he will run as a Republican in 2020. He's worked at the Montana Department of Justice since 2013, and he says he wants to focus on public safety, drug abuse, and the fight of overreach by the federal government.
I think on day one, I know how the department is run. I know what needs to get done, and I think I'm going to have the right priorities, continue a lot of the great things that General Fox has done, but also make sure that we're ready to tackle the issues from 2020 and after.
Montana's current Attorney General Tim Fox is term limited, and he is announcing that he is running for governor. Well, there is a new name for a veterans facility in Missoula. In fact, 3 Montana VA facilities are being renamed in honor of Montana war heroes. Missoula's was named for the late David Thatcher, and today his son spoke about his dad's legacy.
Although many describe my father as a hero, he did not see himself as one. Instead, he would often say that he was just doing his job. And the guys who did not make it back, like his closest friend on the Doolittle raid, 20-year-old Corporal Leland Factor, killed while bailing out over China, were the real heroes. But I believe that my dad was a hero in every sense of the word. As we are gathered here today for this event, our family is very grateful that my father's name will grace this facility that provides care to Montana veterans who have so selflessly served our country.
The renaming was a bipartisan effort from Senators John Tester and Steve Daines. Thatcher's contributions to the war didn't end, though, at that Doolittle raid. He continued to be a part of the first crew to drop bombs in Rome. The Bozeman School District narrowed down a list of names for their new high school to 19. The district put together a naming committee consisting of students, parents, teachers, and community members, and that committee will narrow down the list to 3. Then they'll give some recommendations to the school board. The community can still submit mascot and color ideas through March 8th, but some of their rules still apply.
We don't want to duplicate a mascot from another AA high school because we'll be competing against those schools, and we want to have a different mascot. Same thing with the colors. We definitely don't want to duplicate colors from another AA high school because that goes into the uniforms, and so when we're competing against those other schools, it's important we don't have the same colors.
There's a lot of deciding to do in that. Those with the naming committee hope to find a name soon, and they want to make sure that they are making the right choice when they do that. Still to come on tonight's MTN 9 o'clock news, an update on a massive fire that burned down a 4-story loft development in downtown Bozeman. We're going to find out what's next for this project. That's ahead. And Bob McGuire joins us with a look at your statewide weather forecast, so you don't want to go anywhere. We'll be right back.